Democratic strategist Michael Starr Hopkins and NewsNation political contributor Denise Grace Gitsham, a Republican. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
So you're starting to hear lots of people on both sides of the aisle even start to go, I don't know, this case is a little bit thin. Are Democrats still lapping this up, Michael?
No, I mean, I think at the end of the day, Democrats want to make sure that justice, whether it's a guilty or innocent verdict, is upheld. The fact that we have someone who was indicted by a jury of his peers, I think is something that's serious. And it's not a celebratory thing. It's something that I think history is going to look back on. And really, we're going to have to judge whether we hold our leaders accountable and whether we're the democracy we say we are.
Denise, is it damaging to have him in the courtroom every day and not be out on the campaign trail?
I don't think he needs to be on a campaign trail to get the earned media that he is able to get, no matter where he is. The cameras follow him. He is just fantastic in front of the cameras. So I'm not worried about that. I love your heart because I know you, and I know that you mean well, but I can't say the same for all of your party. And this is why, because every one of the Democrats who's going after President Trump now, and it's only democratically elected, attorney generals and DAs, they all ran on a campaign that said they were explicitly going to take Donald Trump down. And so even if you're just an sort of unaffected bystander and you're not affiliated with either party, you can see that there's this common thread within the Democratic Party, which is that everyone's out to take out Trump. And if that had not been their declared intentions at the time that they campaigned, I think we would have a very different perspective from most of the voting electorate.
So you're saying this is election interference.
I don't like that term because I feel like election interference is something that's been very politicized, and it's a very serious issue.
Right.
I think what I would say is that this is a campaign year. I've been in politics for 25 years, and I know how each side goes after the other in terms of what they use to leverage to make sure that they win, and it's war. And so I think it's just war by another means. Right. Lawfare.
When can we hold a president accountable, though? Because on January 6th, when protesters broke into the Capitol and tried to stop the election from happening, Republicans said, let's not impeach the president. Let's let the court decide. Then once the courts decided that there was going to be an indictment, we were going to move forward, now they're saying it's an election year. At some point, there has to be accountability.
Of course.
Whether we find him innocent, whether we find him guilty, we should want the justice system to move forward so that we can ensure when we talk to other countries that we are the country that we say we are.
Okay, we're going to move on and get your reaction to some other voters that were on the panel with Laura Ingle earlier. Take a listen now to what they have to say about Bidenomics and also RFK.
As I stand now, I'm going to vote Trump, just plain and simple. There are some things that RFK has to say that I do like. I really like his idea about putting universities rather than the federal government on the hook for student loans as a way to both solve that issue as well as reduce tuition prices in universities. I think that's a solid idea. I wish in ways that RFK was more like his uncle, that type of Democrat. Barring that, when the decision comes down to, is your life better today than it was 4 years ago? It's a very simple answer. We answer it at the gas pump, we answer it in the grocery store, we answer it every time we pay our utility bills. National security, energy dependence on places we shouldn't be, all of those things say, well, yeah, I'm voting for Trump.
All right, so does Trump win on the economy, Denise?
I mean, he blows Biden away on the economy, and that's one thing that's been consistent. It's the main reason that Biden is struggling with younger voters, which used to be a solid demographic that he could count on. But really, if you look at how people really vote with their checkbooks and how that actually impacts the way they see America, if you look at the wrong track, and I always bungle this, wrong track, right direction, whatever that poll is, I sometimes call it, get it switched up. It's been consistently upside down for Biden. He's been tracking at 80% of America thinking that we're going in the wrong direction. And that's just not good for anyone's psyche going. And it's certainly bad for a campaign going into November.
How can Biden change these optics? And do you agree or disagree with what Denise says?
Well, look, I always want to bang my head against the wall when I hear people say they were better off 4 years ago than they are now. 15 million new jobs. We have the lowest unemployment and longest extension of unemployment since in the last 50 years. We've got people living longer. We've got people making more money. This is an effect of right-wing media and echo chambers. Because people are listening to only things that they want to hear, they're not really getting the essence of things are improving, and they are improving. They are improving. We see the numbers there. It's just that I don't think people are feeling it because of inflation. And I think that's something that the president is going to have to deal with.
Right.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.